events. Whether told through books, movies, or other forms of media, the most unsettling part is knowing that the terror once belonged to real people. Such is the case of the infamous Amityville home, where the DeFeo and Lutz families experienced their own horrifying realities. In the fall of 1974, a tragedy would shatter the DeFeo family, leaving only one survivor, who also happened to be the killer. The DeFeo household, long before that fateful night, was far from peaceful. Rumors swirled about Ronald DeFeo Sr.'s harsh and abusive behavior, describing him as a domineering and hostile father. His parenting style is believed to have deeply affected his son, Ronald Jr., known as Butch, leading him down a troubled path. In the early hours of November 13, 1974, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. reached his breaking point. Armed with a rifle, he moved from room to room, coldly executing his family members as they slept. One of the most unsettling aspects of the massacre was how eerily undisturbed the scene appeared. Despite the brutal killings occurring within an estimated 15-minute window, the victims showed no signs of struggle. Even more bizarre, the deafening sounds of gunfire never seemed to rouse the household, or if they did, no one left their beds. All 6 family members were discovered lying face down in their beds, as though they'd been placed there. Adding to the mystery, the rifle used in the murders had no silencer. Yet, aside from the family dog's frantic barking, neighbors heard nothing. Not a single gunshot pierced the night. Under mounting pressure during police interrogation, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. finally cracked, admitting to the brutal murders of his family. He led authorities to where he had discarded the murder weapon and his blood-stained clothes. In his chilling confession, he stated, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." Speculation soon arose that Butch had been driven by sinister voices urging him to kill. However, during the trial, the prosecution's psychiatrist refuted these claims, diagnosing DeFeo with antisocial personality disorder. The expert testified that Butch was neither hearing voices nor possessed. He simply lacked a moral compass and felt no remorse for his actions. With the Amityville home forever stained by its gruesome history, many wondered if the violence had left behind something more, a lingering presence, a restless energy trapped within its walls. But it wouldn't be long before the house's new owners, the Lutz family, would claim to experience the horrors for themselves. After a long and exhausting search for their dream home, George and Kathy Lutz stumbled upon a listing they couldn't resist. Unaware that it was the infamous DeFeo residence. The house, a striking colonial with a distinctive gambrel roof, boasted 6 bedrooms, a heated pool, and a spacious boathouse overlooking the Amityville River. Though the asking price of $80,000 exceeded their original budget of $30,000 to $50,000, something about the property captivated them. Even after learning about the tragic events that had taken place inside, the Lutzes felt drawn to the home. The past didn't deter them. In fact, it seemed like an opportunity. They sealed the deal, purchasing the house at what they considered a bargain price. Little did they know their dream home would soon become a nightmare, one that would captivate the world and cement the Amityville house as a legend of terror. Their chilling experiences would later be immortalized in Jay Anson's infamous book, The Amityville Horror, which brought their terrifying ordeal to the public eye. Before moving into the Amityville house, George Lutz was a successful and hard-working businessman. However, shortly after settling in, he began to change. He became lethargic, irritable, and withdrawn, plagued by a constant chill that seemed to seep into his bones. Adding to his growing unease, George found himself waking up at exactly 3:15 a.m. every night, unable to fall back asleep. He would later discover that this was the approximate time when the DeFeo family murders had occurred. The eerie disturbances didn't stop with George. One night, he was startled to see his 5-year-old daughter, Missy, standing by her bedroom window. Behind her, he witnessed the terrifying outline of a pig-like figure with glowing red eyes. Yet, when he rushed to her room, he found her soundly asleep. Soon after, Missy began talking about a new invisible friend named Jody, who she claimed was a pig that visited her room. But perhaps the most disturbing incident occurred when George glanced at his wife Kathy while she slept, only to see her face twisted and transformed into that of a withered elderly woman. It was as if the house was draining the life from her before his eyes. The nightmare inside 112 Ocean Avenue had only just begun. The sinister grip of the Amityville home seemed to manifest most disturbingly through Kathy Lutz. She would experience terrifying episodes where her face appeared to age rapidly, transforming her into someone unrecognizable. This chilling change was even witnessed by her own mother. But Kathy wasn't the only target of the home's horrors. The house itself became a theater of unexplainable events. Doors were ripped from their hinges, and during the dead of winter, rooms became infested with swarms of flies. Outside, cloven hoof prints appeared mysteriously in the snow. Inside, an oozing green slime seeped from the walls without explanation. One of the most unsettling discoveries came from the basement, a secret room not found on the original house plans. The walls of this hidden space were painted a deep blood red, and the cramped area was only large enough for two people to sit closely together. A foul odor lingered within the room, and it emitted an oppressive, suffocating energy. George recalled attempting to bring their family dog into the space, only to witness something that deeply unsettled him. He just wouldn't go in. He backed away. "It's the only time I can ever remember him cowering from something," he said. The house's eerie activity didn't end there. One night, George heard the lively sound of a band playing downstairs. But when he entered the living room, the scene was disturbingly empty. The only signs of activity were a rolled-up rug and shifted furniture, as though space had been cleared for dancing by invisible occupants. Even those outside the family felt the house's wrath. A priest, called upon by the Lutz family to bless the home, became severely ill after entering and experienced strange phenomena that left him shaken. The Lutz family's new home had become anything but a sanctuary. It was a prison of terror, one they would soon realize they had to escape. Author Jay Anson credited a pivotal meeting with the priest involved in the Lutz family's ordeal as the moment he knew he had to write the Amityville Horror. Because it was corroboration. This was actually happening to someone. This wasn't The Exorcist or The Omen. From there, I started to create the book, Anson explained. On January 14, 1976, after just 28 harrowing days in their Amityville home, the Lutz family fled in terror. Their departure was so abrupt that they left behind nearly all their belongings, never to return. Reflecting on that night in a 2005 interview, George Lutz recalled the chaos and confusion of their escape. "We didn't get up to leave that morning. You need to understand that. This was our house. We lived there. When we left, we didn't know we weren't coming back. We didn't know that what we were leaving behind, we would never see again." The Lutz family's chilling experiences, as recounted to Jay Anson, became the foundation for his 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, which quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The Los Angeles Times praised the book as both fascinating and frightening. Beyond the supernatural terror, some critics suggested that the book's immense popularity resonated with the anxieties of a nation in turmoil. At the time, the U.S. faced a period of political and economic unrest, marked by soaring inflation, rising interest rates, and a crippling oil shortage, all signs of a struggling economy. The Lutz family may have left Amityville behind, but their story and the fear it inspired would haunt the public imagination for decades to come. As the story unfolds, readers witness the Lutz family's struggles extend beyond the paranormal. Their business suffers under the weight of a failing economy, compounded by the added stress of an IRS investigation hitting them at the worst possible time. For many readers facing similar financial hardships, these real-world challenges made the family's ordeal feel strikingly familiar. And by blending supernatural terror with the harsh realities of American life, the Amityville Horror became more than a ghost story. It became a reflection of the anxieties of the era. The infamous Amityville house, forever marked by its dark history, last appeared on the real estate market in the summer of 2016, eventually selling for $605,000 in February 2017, according to Zillow. Just 7 years earlier, in 2010, the property had sold for a significantly higher price of $950,000. Despite the ongoing debate surrounding the truth of the Lutz family's chilling experiences, one fact remains indisputable. A horrifying mass murder occurred within those walls, forever staining the property's legacy. While skeptics continue to question the validity of the Lutz's paranormal claims, history has shown that the unexplained can sometimes turn non-believers into firm believers. The Amityville Horror stands as a cautionary tale, reminding us that some possessions come with an unseen price. Whether it's a simple trinket, a cherished heirloom, or even a dream home, one should always be mindful of what they choose to acquire. In the end, if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Your support means a lot. Stay tuned for more creepy tales